Allow me to introduce myself.
I am the last sane sports fan.
I am a genius by trade.
I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly.
Hello everyone and welcome once again to The View from the Midwest. Well, today is September 11th, so hopefully all of you are memorializing this day or utilizing it however you see best. I'm not one to sit there and say that you need to do anything in particular, but I do feel that it is still kind of a day simply because we've all kind of relived it. I'm sure that this was kind of the way that December 7th was for people for a long time after World War II. It's just a day to kind of remember and say, hey, this stuff happened. Let's not forget that it could happen again. Not necessarily hold it against any one particular group of people or anything like that, but just kind of be on guard and also remember the people that lost their lives needlessly. That being said, there is a good piece. It's a 30 for 30 short. It's called The First Pitch. It's on ESPN. I believe it'll be televised today. It's also online, and Grantland also has a piece on it as well. I do suggest you go check that out. I checked out the first 10 minutes or so, and I'll probably watch the rest later. All the 30 for 30s are really good pieces, really well put together documentaries, and it's only about a half an hour if it's on TV with commercials, and if it's online it's only about 24 minutes, but it discusses some of the stuff that went in behind the thinking of President Bush going to New York, why he was there, why he felt the need to be there, and then once sports got back into the swing of things, why he felt the need to throw out the first pitch at the New York Yankees game. Regardless of what your political spectrum is, that is one thing that I think that President Bush did extremely well, is he handled everything post-mortem on that terrible day very well, outside of the famous part where the picture was taken where he was indecisive about reading the story to the kids and whether or not he should get up. But again, we're not trying to make this overtly political. I thought that he did an excellent job with everything regarding that, with showing up to New York and doing his best to kind of put his arms around the first responders and let them know that that their country was there for them and that this would not stand. All the stuff after that with Iraq and all that, I mean, that's whatever you want to believe about those situations. But I thought the piece is very well, so I do suggest you go taking that. That being said, I remember where I was on September 11th. I was attending the University of Kansas, and it was my, excuse me, it was pretty much beginning of my sophomore year, and I had a class early in the morning. I hadn't even turned on the news, take the bus all the way up to campus, then get there, and they say, oh, well, there's some stuff that's happened. You're free to either stay here and talk about it if you know what's going on, or if you want to go back to your dorms or apartments and see what's going on, that's free to do that. So I went ahead and left because I didn't know what was going on. And then all of a sudden you see the stuff hit the fan, literally and figuratively, and it really was one of those days where you'll always remember where you were and you'll never really forget it either. And it's unfortunate that it had to happen to our country, but these kind of things, unfortunately, throughout the course of human history have always tended to happen. And as a society, we've done a reasonably good job at moving on, perhaps a little too good. I think there are too many people out there who don't remember. And also, we're far enough away now, it's hard to believe, but we're far enough away now where there are people. I saw an interesting tweet from a teacher who is basically saying, I'm now teaching students about 9/11 who were not born on 9/11, and that's kind of an odd position to be taking now. But going back towards the sports things now, again, hopefully everybody out there utilizes this day however you see fit. Talking more about some sports that are going on right now. Another thing with the New England Patriots, it just refuses to die. The Pittsburgh Steelers apparently started picking up the radio broadcasts of the New England Patriots through their headsets, and they're going to file a complaint with the NFL. Because the big question now is, okay, well, maybe the transmissions got garbled right then and the Steelers heard the Patriots, but how do they know that the Patriots weren't listening in on the Steelers because they were doing a good job of figuring out their defensive calls, and then all of a sudden, once that stopped, things started turning around for the Steelers. Listen, I'm getting to the point where I'm sick of trying to accuse the New England Patriots of cheating every single time, but when they give you all these opportunities, it's just got to stop. I don't care if you're a New England Patriots fan or if you absolutely hate them or you're somewhere else in between. The New England Patriots have got to stop shooting themselves in the foot. Stop giving people this ammunition with which to go after you. They are so supremely talented, regardless of what you feel about them at all. Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks of all time, whether you love him or hate him. Whether you love him or hate him, Bill Belichick is a very, very, very good football coach, potentially one of the best of all time. They don't need to do all this. That's what's so frustrating about it. Even as somebody who doesn't like the New England Patriots, simply because I'm sick of them winning all the time, they don't need to do all this. They don't need to be recording people. They don't need to be listening in on signals. They don't need to be deflating footballs. They don't need to be doing any of this kind of stuff because they have the talent to win. But for whatever reason, whether they have actually cheated or whether they've just kind of thought about it or something in between, again, they need to stop putting themselves in these predicaments. I don't know what caused the radio disruptance the other day. I would like to believe that they're not dumb enough to come out of another controversy and immediately try to spy on people's signals. But again, these people are so arrogant that I don't know what's going on either. Another NFL note to get to real quick, a little bit disappointing. Aldon Smith, the troubled linebacker / lineman, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers, who's had so many legal troubles. He's been arrested 5 times since 2012, was just released by the 49ers because of being accused of hit and run while under the influence. Has been signed by the Oakland Raiders. Listen, the NFL teams are free to do what they will, but come on, Oakland. This is not the move that you need to make. I understand that this is going back to that old Al Davis, just win, baby, at all costs kind of mentality. But when Al Davis did it at the peak of his powers, he was at least hiring people that were worth it. Aldon Smith, while a good football player at the peak of his skills, is too messed up right here, right now. He needs to get help. He needs to not be worrying about football. And I'm sorry to say that because I understand that people need to make money and take care of their families and provide for whoever they might have at home. But this guy has got to get his life in order. I mean, he is going to kill somebody. And I'm not even talking about on purpose. He's not going to go out there and murder somebody. But if he is literally having this many problems with the law, and a lot of it stemming from driving charges and under the influence kind of charges, he's going to get in a car and kill somebody. And he needs to be getting help. He doesn't need to be worrying about football. And we've seen this too often in the NFL. Say, oh, well, I think this guy can help me right now, so I'll deal with whatever problems that he's got going on, and then we'll kind of figure it out as we go along. The NFL needs to stop that. Stop it. They have to start getting these players help and not having to worry so much about wins and losses on the field, because ultimately it doesn't matter if you're fans, if the people in the cities where you have teams are going to face the repercussions of these people with reckless behavior. NBA note, Flip Saunders, the coach of the Timberwolves in Minnesota, is going to take a leave of absence. It hasn't been necessarily said for how long, but best wishes go out to him. He's fighting cancer. It's a terrible disease. Hopefully he can battle through it and come out on top. Not even necessarily to come back to an NBA coaching career, but those are always good stories when you hear that people have managed to overcome this terrible disease and come out better for it on the flip side. So no pun intended there, but hopefully Coach Flip Saunders will come out over cancer on this one. Back to the NFL real quick before we sign off. Sam Bradford is now the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. And listen, I was always on the Sam Bradford bandwagon. The guy just could not stay healthy. If he stays healthy, he's an extremely talented quarterback. But people need to calm down just a little bit because they're all of a sudden predicting the Eagles to be Super Bowl contenders now with Sam Bradford, and Bradford maybe even in contention with the likes of Brady and Roethlisberger and Luck and whatnot for MVP. I mean, the guy is a good quarterback, and maybe he will flourish in Chip Kelly's system, but he's also been a bit hit or miss even when he has been healthy because he's had so many different offensive systems to try to learn. I don't think Chip Kelly's is easily learnable right off the bat. I'm not saying Sam Bradford can't learn it, but let's just temper the expectations put on old Sam right now. Super Bowl from coming from the Rams. I wish all the best for Sam Bradford. I really do. I will have no ill will towards him if he has a good career from here forth because the Rams did the decision that they needed to do based on his contract coming up and the fact that he just could not stay healthy. But I think that people need to kind of take their expectations of the Eagles down just a little bit too because they have Mark Sanchez as their backup, and while he has done well with the Eagles, Sam Bradford has yet to really play a full season in the NFL, and I'm not hoping that he gets injured, but I just kind of expect it to happen. That is the view from the Midwest. What are your views on today's topics? Comment, rate, and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube. Hopefully you all have a good weekend. I will probably try to do a post-match edition for St. Louis FC coming up as their second-to-last home game is coming up this Saturday. Other than that, hopefully you all enjoy the college football this weekend. The soccer, obviously, coming back as the Premier League is back into full swing. And pro football starting up. We had the game on Thursday and now the full slate on Sunday. But until the next time, I'll see you then.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space.